Feeling overwhelmed by the thought of staging your house to sell? You're not alone. But the good news is you can do it yourself even if you're not a designer. Hello and welcome back. Thank you for joining me for this podcast episode. My name is Kasha McDaniel, and today we are talking about DIY home staging for women over 50 because yes, you can do it. You really can. There are so many things that you can do yourself that you probably think, well, I need to have a designer's eye or I need this special whatever, right? You don't. There's a lot of things that you can do yourself, and that's what I want to go through in this episode. And number one is basically to debunk the idea that you don't need any fancy decor or expensive decor. You really don't. As a home stager, when I talk to my clients, I actually work with what the homeowner has. A lot of the time, you already have the things that we need to stage and decorate your home. Now, we're also debunking the staging myth that you need all new furniture. No, you don't. You don't need to bring in rental furniture. I stage occupied homes all the time. So that is something that I just reuse what the homeowner has. Now, if you feel that you need newer furniture, again, that's just a myth that you don't need to think about when it comes time to staging your home. Because the buyers that come through, they know that the furniture doesn't stay, right? So we're going to do the best we can with what you have, all right? And show off the space. We're showing off the home and how it looks and how you use it, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to tell a story of how they can use their home, right? Your home, you're probably downsizing, so it's probably a bigger one. So maybe you have multiple bedrooms, right? And you're trying to show off this home for a new family or a growing family, and that's what we're trying to show off the space, okay? Number two, we're going to focus on the most important rooms. Now, I do have a video about that, about staging the 4 most important rooms, and we talk about the living room, the kitchen, the primary bedroom, and the dining room. Now, ladies, you are the ones who normally are going to be the ones that are staging the house. That's why I'm talking to you, okay? Yes, there's going to be some men. For the most part, most of my clients and those of you watching are women because you are the ones that have the vested interest in getting your house sold. You're the one that probably has the most time, which is arguable. I know, you're probably thinking, I don't have much time. And I know, believe me, because I've had to sell our house, but literally, my husband just leaves it to me. He's like, look, you take care of whatever you need to do. If you need some heavy lifting, I'll help you with that. But otherwise, I leave it to you to take care of. Have you heard that argument before? Yes. So that's why I'm talking to you ladies over 50 and above who just need some guidance, some help, and just some processes of what do I need to do? Where do I begin, right? And I do have a free staging guide that you can download right now for free that you can take a look at that'll help you get started with what you need to look around, some ideas, some home improvements that will help you get started to get your house ready to sell. When we're focusing on the 4 most important rooms, we basically want to make them feel like the buyers are walking through their home, not your home. You probably heard that. You're thinking, well, what makes it that way? Well, you do have to have kind of a mindset shift here. As soon as you think about selling your house, you need to automatically think of, this is no longer my home. This is not your home. You have to think it through the buyer's eyes, okay? So a lot of things will be taken down, okay? And that's where the third topic comes in. So we need to clear the clutter, okay? But I don't want you to empty it out, all right? That's the main thing. So you definitely want to clean, declutter, take things like collections down. Like if you have, a plate collection, figurines in a credenza or a hutch or something like that. Maybe you have a curio cabinet with all sorts of crystal vases and glasses and things. And you're probably not taking them to your next house, right? Am I right? You're probably looking at it going, but yeah, but they're so pretty. Yep. That's clutter. I'm telling you this right now. With all the love in my heart, I'm telling you this right now. You're probably not taking it with you. So you might as well sell it or donate it or give it to someone who really wants it, okay? I'm just telling you that now because you need to take a hard look of what you're really taking with you to your next house. It really needs to be things that you love, not just collecting dust on the shelf, in the credenza, in the curio cabinet. You probably have collected many, many, many little figurines over the time, whether you've traveled with a family, growing up, maybe it's things you've inherited. But now's the time to start packing those things away. If they are things that you want to keep, start packing them up. If you have a curio cabinet, I'm telling you, that's the number one thing that I would tell a client of mine, to empty that out and get it out, move it out, take it out. It's just taking up space. Yeah, it's probably overloaded with things. Yeah, I know. And you're probably hating me right now because you're going, oh no, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Okay, I'm just trying to help you sell your house. That's all I'm doing, okay? Okay, the next thing you can work on is, these are the go-to accessories that work in any room. Okay, see, so you're probably looking around, if you go into your living room, you're probably looking around, well, I have all these little tchotchkes, these plates, these ornaments, these whatever. Those don't count. That's not the decor, the accessories that we're talking about that need to stay in each room, okay? So some of the accessories I'm talking about are like, there needs to be some artwork on the wall, okay? Baskets are always useful, whether you have a basket on the coffee table, a basket off to the side by the fireplace if you have one, any neutral throw pillows. Throw pillows are an easy thing to accessorize with in any single room, whether it's the living room, the bedroom, the bonus room, whatever room. Throw pillows are a great way just to add color and just some texture and interest in the room, okay? Mirrors are another great thing. Maybe you have a darker hallway that you're probably looking around going, oh gosh, it's really dark and I can't add any more lights in here. There's no room. Mirrors are a great way to help bounce around the light. I had that in a foyer where it was kind of dark depending on the time of day in that space. But once I had a front door that actually had a big window. Once I put a mirror on the opposite side of that front door, that light came bouncing in and bouncing around in that foyer area. And it was just like, oh, the light turned on, okay? So mirrors are a great way to brighten up a space if you have one. It doesn't matter if it's a round, rectangular one. It really doesn't matter. But it's just this, has a mirror in there, it will help brighten up the space. That's a great accessory to use. And if you don't have any artwork, for example, or maybe you do and there's too many pieces of artwork, okay? A mirror is a great way to replace that. If you have like a gallery full of personal photos, well, yeah, I'm going to say you need to take all those down. Well, Kasha, I just emptied the wall. Now what do I put up in its place? A mirror is perfectly fine. Or a piece of artwork, kind of like what I have behind me, okay? But baskets, any kind of greenery is great. Like I said, throw pillows, mirrors, those types of things are easy to use with. Even candles, if you have. Like, I know I love my candles and I don't light them. They're just pretty to look at. I know I have a lot. I think I have like 2 or 3, probably more. One for holidays, one for, different seasons. I know you're probably nodding along with me going, oh yeah, I do have those too. Yeah, those are a great thing to help you bring in color, whether you use it on a mantle, maybe on a dresser or something like that. Those are great and easy things that you can use as accessories to help you decorate and stage your house. Okay. The next tip I have for you is to make sure the house is bright and inviting. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is lighting is everything. Just like I talked about that mirror that bounces that light around in that room, you need to make sure that the lighting, it's kind of dark in this room. I had to have a light pointing on me just to kind of brighten it up a little bit. Open up the blinds. Push those curtains open. Turn those blinds. Make them go all the way to the top, especially when you have showings or for pictures. That's definitely the time when you need to open up every single one of those windows. Yes, I know. Maybe your spouse or you love to live in a dark cave and make it all dark in there. But when it comes time for pictures and it comes time to have the showings, All of those windows and blinds and curtains need to be pushed open, and so that you can bring in the light. Here are some common mistakes that I found when it comes to staging a house. So number one is over decorating. Oh, that one is when you have so many things that you're like, well, I want to fill every single nook and cranny. Nope, you don't have to when it comes to staging. Not every corner needs to have a plant or a vase or a whatever in the corner. It's okay to have some empty spots. Really, it is. I give you permission, okay? So if you have a rocking chair here and a plant over there and everything just kind of just crunched in and put into that room, take out at least, I don't know, a couple of pieces. And it's probably going to feel kind of, oh my gosh, what is she doing? She's taking these things out. But it'll make the room feel bigger, I promise you. And that's what we're trying to do. Staging is we're decorating to sell, not decorating to live, okay? We're trying to give the impression that there's space. And there is, right? There normally is in each of the room. But when you pack it, jam pack it with everything in the corners, on the walls, everywhere else, yeah, that's not staging. That's over decorating, okay? Number two, leaving personal photos or memorabilia out. Like I mentioned earlier, take down those family photos. That's the first thing when I talk to a client on the phone. Before I even show up, or even if I do an online consultation, I'll tell them, hey, look, before we start this, just go take all those family photos down right now. You pack them away, get them ready to pack up. It's okay. I promise you, they're going to take them to your next house. They're going with you. They just need to come down right now. Okay? And that way you can see, well, if I have this empty space, what do we put in its place? And that's what we can talk about during our consultation. Okay? Another common mistake to avoid is leaving too many heavy pieces of furniture around. I've seen pictures, and I think I'm going to share you this one, where there's a lot of chairs in the room. Because you think, oh, well, this is a living room. I should be able to seat like 10 people in here. No, you really don't. Just a couch and some chairs is perfectly fine, okay? You don't need to seat a party of 10 or 12 or 20 or whatever you think it is that you need to fit in there. You really don't. Nope. So if you have heavy furniture, what I mean by that is maybe some a credenza and then a hutch and then another credenza and then big padded chairs, those types of things. That is heavy furniture. That's what I'm talking about, okay? And then another thing is thinking that clean means staged. Nope. So we talked about decluttering earlier. Yes, you need to declutter. Once you move the clutter and take things out of every nook and cranny that you've jam-packed into that room, you've decluttered it, but then you also need to clean it. But just clean doesn't mean it's staged. Okay, sometimes we need to rearrange the furniture. Sometimes when you've taken out the heavy pieces, you're like, ooh, well, I kind of got a gap here. Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe it just flows better, okay? And that's one thing that, we can discuss if you have a consultation with me, okay? So I know you've cared for this home for a long time. Now it's probably time to buckle down. I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh my gosh. You want to present it in a way that others will fall in love with it too, just like you did when you moved into it. Okay? So it doesn't need to be perfect, but it does need to feel fresh, welcoming, and move-in ready. So if you've been watching this until this point, I would invite you to join me for a new program that I'm starting. It's called Home Staging for Women Over 50, and we're going to talk about room layout and decor basics. Now, this is something that you're interested in. It's going to be a live webinar on August 28th at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll leave the link so that you can sign up for it. Basically, we're going to talk about room layouts and kind of like the rules of things to think about when you're looking around your room, okay? Share some simple decor tweaks that work to help you figure out, okay, what accessories help sell a home and what doesn't, okay? Decluttering like a pro. Maybe you have a little too many things and you're kind of wondering, well, how do I make it feel move-in ready, right? And then staging for photos. So these are things that small changes that make a big difference when you take a photograph of your home when you put it on the market. Okay. So as a founding member, there is a special. I'm going to put that link in the show notes for this limited time offer. I'm offering it for 25 people to sign up. Basically, your feedback will help shape this program for other women over 50 who are struggling just like you to figure out, well, what do I need to do? Kasha, please help me. This is going to be a live webinar. It's only going to be about an hour. It depends on how many questions you have, because this is your chance to ask me questions, okay? So you get VIP early access for this, a deeply discounted rate by joining me in at the end of August for this webinar, a chance to influence the final version, because maybe there's some other things that you're on your top of your mind that you really want me to discuss, and I would love to help you with that. And that's what we're trying to do, is make this into a course. And bonus, there will be a home staging timeline. That's a PDF that I'll share with you during this webinar. So I hope you will join me. I hope this is something that can help you get your house ready to sell, because I really need your feedback and help to make this a fantastic program for you so that you can feel confident in getting your house sold quickly. All right, so I hope you have a fantastic week. If you have any comments, please leave them in the notes below. I would love to hear from you. Now, if you do subscribe to this channel, you get to hear all the next videos that come up, so that way you get more staging tips to help you get your house ready. So please like, subscribe, and comment. And if you already subscribed, check and make sure you're still subscribed to the channel, because sometimes, YouTube does a funky thing where it unsubscribes you from certain things. I don't know why, but they do that. So it's free to do that. That way you can catch me on my next videos, and I will talk to you later. I hope you have a great week. Bye!